Ladies and gentlemen, this is the panel 3, which is the role of emerging technologies in data-driven customer engagement. This session is going to be moderated by Ashton D. Cruz, Executive Director, NatWest Markets. Let's give it up for Ashton, guys. Come on. I need the round of applause coming and the music to be on, please. Then we have Rakesh Gupta, Head Customer Services and Customer Experience, anchored by Panasonic. Let's give it up for Rakesh Gupta, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, come on, come on. Then we have Mahendra Bindra, Vice President Customer Experience, Unity Small Finance Bank. Let's give it up for Mahendra Bindra, guys. Come on. We need to give them a huge, huge, huge round of applause. Then we have Rupam Mazumdar, Head Innovation and Products, ECL Finance. Let's give it up for Rupam Mazumdar, guys. Come on. Then we have Alex Gokavi, Business Lead, BNPL and Credit Cards, 5.India. Let's give it up for Alex. Come on, guys. Let's give them a huge round of applause. This seems to be a panel filled with variety of people, filled with variety of designations, different sectors coming together to discuss one single topic and to expand the horizons on the same. Over to you, guys. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Hello. Trust I'm audible right at the behind. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks ma'am for the introductions. Hello once again and a good day to my fellow panelists, the participating delegates and other participants in this room, as well as the associated sponsors. I must start by thanking Shraddha, Prateechi, Karuna, the Krypton group team, as well as the associated partners for putting together this event, and also inviting some really esteemed speakers to be able to share the stage as well as their views on topics that are really interesting and relevant as of today. Okay, I'm Ashton D. Cruz. I'm the Executive Director with the NatWest Group, and my role is the Chief Administrative Officer of NatWest Markets. I will also request my fellow panelists to very quickly give a brief introduction of who they are, what they do.
Good evening, guys. My name is Rakesh Gupta. I'm from Panasonic Electric Works. We are electrical arm of Panasonic, more known as Anchor by Panasonic. So we are into switches, switchgear, lighting, water heaters, solar, so anything and everything which is into electrical construction metal. And I have been heading the after-sales service part of Panasonic.
Good evening, guys. This is Mahendra Bindra. I am Vice President Customer Excellence with Unity Small Finance Bank, the youngest small finance bank of India.
Hi, good evening all. So my name is Rupam Mazumdar. So I'm VP and Head of Digital Products for ECL Finance Limited. So ECL Finance is the MSME lending wing of Edelweiss Financial Services.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex. I am part of 𝐓𝐫𝐾. We are a digital lending company and NBFC of our own. I am part of a couple of LOBs for 𝐓𝐫𝐾, where I manage BNPL as a vertical, which is buy now pay later, and credit cards.
So thank you all for your introductions. To begin with, just a few ground rules of this engagement. Basically, the views and opinions expressed on the panel here are being made by members in their individual capacity. They may or may not be subscribed by the organizations they represent or association or forums that we are associated with. I will also request that this panel be conducted as per Chatham House rules. For the uninitiated, Chatham House rules means information shared by the panel shared in this forum can be used by everyone without revealing the identity of the speaker, the affiliation, or any of the other panel participants in this panel and in this forum. So those were the ground rules for today's discussion. We can see we've got a wealth of experience, almost a century of experience on the stage today. And whilst we are a bit left leaning on in terms of the financial services setup as compared to a wider mix of members across industry segments, we still have a lot that we can offer here. At the same time, I can see across the room there are stalwarts of industries already present here, and therefore I like to keep this conversation as a two-way conversation, not just a monologue coming from this side to that side of the room, but I would like it to be participating both ways, and therefore I'll encourage you for questions, clarifications. If you want to challenge some of the opinions that are shared on the stage and shared by any member, just lift your hand and we'll welcome them. Okay. So with that context, let's dive into the conversation. This is the last panel session of the day, and from what I've heard from morning, we've basically got a pretty high benchmark to either meet or exceed. So good luck to all of us. The session that we have for today is the role of emerging technologies in data-driven customer engagement. So that's what we have been asked to provide a view and opinion on. I'm sure all of us will acknowledge that in today's day and age, new age technologies, which is the next gen technologies, accompanying digital transformation, digital innovation that has been seen, has looked at a radical shift in traditional products and services. And in turn has created a lot of new and exciting opportunities. At the same time, digital innovation is not just an adoption of a technology, but it is also the alignment and integrating of data and technology with our business goals and objectives to be able for organizations to change the way they operate, to be able for them to deliver value, enhance customer experience, and then gain a competitive advantage. In the same way, customer service has also evolved from the basic customer support as a face-to-face, in-person customer experience to something where it's able to service the various customer needs through multiple communication channels, thereby increasing customer satisfaction, customer retention, and now in the later stage to something that we define as CX, which basically means prioritizing building of an emotional connect while designing user and customer experiences. So that is the context that we have, and for that I will come to a first and common question to all members. Okay, you can spend about 60 to 90 seconds with your view on the same, and that question to you will be is, what is your take on CX or customer experience as we call it, and what do you think new age technologies bring to the table where CX is concerned? Do you think that it enhances and promotes the CX experience? Do you think that it doesn't really matter, or do you think it's something that is will impede and hamper the experience?
Ashton, as you started off, you gave us 60 to 90 seconds, and I'll say 60 to 90 seconds is perfectly enough to spoil a customer experience or to make a customer experience. So that's what, 60 to 90 seconds is perfectly enough. Now for me, customer experience is as good as a feeling. All is well वाला feeling होता है. So this is like that customer experience. It is right from the inception of thought of buying a particular service or a product till the time that service ends. So entire life cycle of the customer, now there are multiple points where customer experience is there. Now we all speak about customer experience. This morning we have been watching this, but are we really quantifying the impact of customer experience? That's what matters for me. So as per me, it is very important to quantify the impact of customer experience and what are the matrices we follow. So age-old matrices like NPS or CSATs, or the new ones, the CES or the CPS. So what exactly we want to monitor? And secondly, for us, yes, customer experience is going to stay forever. It is going to be significant. Somebody in the previous panel told that almost every day he is receiving, CX events invite. So CX is, like old age. एक बार वो आ गया है बुढ़ापे की तरह बढ़ता ही जा रहा है, वो CX के ऊपर फोकस बढ़ता ही जा रहा है. So that's how it is, and it is going to stay, and organizations, including managements, will have to stay put focus on this customer experience part, and this is a baby which every department or every function or every individual in the organization has to take care of.
Sure, well said. What about next gen technologies? I'll still stick with you. A, B, C, which option?
The technologies, it is changing every quarter. So, but yes, in terms of customer experience, how you interact with customer, how you make him feel at the different touch points, right from the purchase or at the installation or at the requirement of resale services. But yes, AI, Gen AIs, all those are going to be key players in terms of
devising a strategy for customer experience.
Sure. Thanks, Rakesh. A proponent of next gen. Mahendra.
Okay, I think 60 to 90 seconds. So, I think I'll give it in a two-part answer. I think gone are the days where organizations used to feel customer service is a department. So once you sell the product and service, they have a customer service department who will solve customers' problem. I think any organization in today's day and age, if they think that this is how they're going to be working on strategy on the customer experience, I think they'll be out of business very, very soon. It's very, very important that customer experience at a very generalized level is something where your customer should feel happy about the product and service, and he should feel it's a memorable experience every time he gets in touch with the brand. What I think organizations are missing is a lot of buzzwords, and quite a few of us have abused these buzzwords like omni-channel. I think a lot of organizations confuse multi-channel as omni-channel. So I think the organization has to orchestrate their tech stack and their approach to CX where they can provide a true omni-channel experience rather than a multi-channel experience. Similarly, a lot of organizations focus on investment in technology and they boast their chest about the fact that they invested hundreds of crores or X amount of money in tech. But the moment you go one level deep, you will often find that the technology is implemented first and then the customer has been taught or force-fitted into that technology. I think it has to be the reverse. You put the customer at the center, work backwards, and then understand which technology is right for your product and service. And I think it's nothing new, but it's important to understand one size does not fit all. You have, since I come from banking industry, we have a senior citizen customer. You give that senior citizen the best app, the best voice bot, he doesn't care. He wants to get up in the morning, he wants to visit one of the banking branch, have a cup of tea, have a time pass of 15 minutes, and what he or she basically does is just do a passbook printing, that's it. But that person wants to visit a branch because there is no one at home to talk to, right? Son has gone to office, kids have gone to, the grandkids have gone to school, he needs someone to talk to. So you need to define and you need to develop the right customer experience which is at the branch. When you have a business banking customer, he's someone who's a CFO or a CEO of a brand. He doesn't have time to call the call center. He wants something on an email. That's his preferred mode of communication. How do you strategize CX for that? And then you have the Gen Zs who will never visit a branch. They want everything on an app and they want a very great UI, UX. So depending upon your customer personas and the verticals that you have in the organization, the customer experience has to have a customized approach for each segment of your customer. But what is at the same time important that it has to be consistent across all channels. You cannot have a great experience in the branch, but your call center sucks, or the other way around. So I think these are a few building blocks. If the brands can think on these lines, I think they are onto something right.
Sure. Thanks, Mahendra. That was detailed and pretty well explained. Rupam, if I can ask you to come on board.
Yeah, hello. So previously, I remember when I used to think of CX, it was only UI plus UX, fundamentally putting that. Now when I delve deep into designing products and journeys and understanding what a CX is, then I understand that CX is nothing but what a brand or a business has to provide value proposition to the customers at each and every point of customer interaction in the whole customer life cycle. So it starts from the time you think what is suitable for the customer from the product point of view. So obviously there are different customer segments and all, and there are different products that we need to design for the customer. It can be different customer segments based on the city styles they are coming up, ages and all, whether the salaries have employed and all. And then also to design a journey in such a way, as I'm with my fellow speakers on that same point, is that for a retired person, he may not be that much tech savvy. Okay, but for people, salaried people like us, he is much more tech savvy. So you have to have all the journey elements taken care of in the product that you are giving to the customer. And it doesn't stop there. It doesn't mean that you will have a pretty top-notch customer experience given from your sales pitch till the disbursal is done. But customer service, one of the very important points in the entire customer life cycle. You have to see how your customer experience is being uniform and you're giving value to the customer there also. So customer comes first. Customer nowadays have high expectations. They want convenience of use, ease of use in any kind of medium or journey that you're giving to the customer. You have to understand your customer. You have to give him the best that he needs in the best way possible or feasible for him.
Thanks for that, Rupam. And Alex, I'll finish with you. Your take on CX.
Yeah, so as my co-panelist said, right, we have evolved through customer service and today we are looking at customer experience, right? And like they said, experience is not just one, you can't give experience at one stage, it's at every point where a customer interacts with you, your UI, your agents, your branch managers, whoever is involved, they all combine and give an experience. So I think customer experience is of utmost importance. It directly impacts your retention, business, all of it, right? Now, emerging technologies, I feel that it's an enabler for humans to go ahead and leverage more and provide a wow customer experience. In my one of my recent interviews, I referred AI or Gen AI or the new age technologies as the Iron Man concept, right? You are Tony Stark, and the Gen AI and MLs are your Jarvis. They will only enable you, and it will only go ahead and be better for you, for us in future.
Sure, thanks for that, Alex, and thanks for all of you for your individual views. So we've understood take on CX. It's been pretty common in terms of what CX is. It's not just about satisfaction, it's about the experience right through the journey across all modes, across all channels, omni-channel, multi-channels, what you call it. And next-gen technologies is there to stay as an enabler. I will throw the question open to the audience. If there's someone who wants to substantiate what has been said, seek a clarification, or maybe even challenge what are the views that have come from here. Does someone in the room actually think next-gen technologies hamper customer experience? Silence is consent, so basically we'll then run with the same flow. We won't be having any diverse opinion. We'll all stick with saying yes to next gen and customer experience. Okay, but I'll still leave it open. One last call.
Something.
Okay, yes. Maybe.
I just want to understand the difference you quoted about omni-channel and multi-channel.
Mahendra, since you mentioned it, do you want to? I can come in.
So I think the key basic difference between multi-channel and omni-channel is when a customer has multiple channels to reach out, let's say a toll-free number, email ID, your social media handle, your WhatsApp. These are channels. Now the key difference between omni-channel and multi-channel is when these channels are not connected through an underlying CRM. So just imagine a customer walks into a branch, he asks for a passbook print, but the printer is not working at the branch. There is some issue he complains about it. The branch manager says, sir, we'll look into it. He calls up the call center and he has to explain everything all over again. But just imagine that service request which is updated by the branch manager. It's there in the CRM. The moment the customer calls or the moment you being a customer calls and the call center agent tells you that, sir, I understand a couple of hours back you visited our Vile-Parle branch and I see that you had a passbook update request which is not done because of a printer not working. Be rest assured, I can see a branch team is working on it and will solve it for you. And I do apologize. Imagine the comfort and the experience the customer would have where he doesn't have to explain all over again. Another classic example is a lot of the time when you call a contact center and you have to, just a different example where the customer has to explain the whole problem over and over and over again to different people. And a lot of time you must have seen maybe on YouTube or some other channel where customer says, do I have to explain everything again? Then I don't want to talk to you. I think this is a key difference, and all you need is an underlying CRM which helps connect each of the channel, and that real-time or near real-time data update which is available for the next person, so that when he handles the customer, it's much more empathetic and it's much more proactive, rather than the customer venting out his frustration and explaining everything in detail. I think that's the difference, and it's very simple. As I'm saying, it sounds very simple, but please ask the CIOs and CTOs. They'll tell you how difficult it is. Yeah.
But also he has to go with that solution. That is the proper customer experience. I am the first person, some companies wants to do it. I have put it down. So first CRM has recorded. Another person who is taking up that particular thing, he may not be asking, but he has to go with the customer solution.
Well put. So I didn't get the gentleman's name. Sorry, I don't know. I didn't get your name. But as Mahendra said, multi-channel, omni-channel. Multi-channel, you start from scratch. You may have multiple options available, but you start from scratch each time. In an omni-channel presence, you basically pick up from where you last left off. To your question. Again, we can, and as you said, you come up with the solution the second time, that's the third time on multiple iterations. Again, a very nice thing to have. Rather than having a solution ready when the customer next calls you, it should be more proactive, where the solution is provided before the customer feels the need to call back. And only if there's no solution available within that time limit, you go back seeking more time. In that event, you don't need to really wait for a solution when the customer calls the second time. And that's what's omni-channel.
So I'll just try to have a balanced answer here, right? I think everybody is fighting on the cost factor, right? You can give customer delight, customer experience, customer wow, but it comes with a cost. So if you balance cost with your customer experience, delivery, I think what you're saying, if I have to answer it in a very short, I think a classic example is ownership at a frontline level, right? So what happens if you call an Amex contact center, and if you say, I was late on my payment, can you do something about it? The frontline agent, the junior most frontline agent will say, yes sir, I see that you normally not late, you do make your payment on time. It seems you have been late for some reason, let me go ahead and waive off the finance charge and late payment. Come back to the Indian banks or the Indian organization. Even if you ask for a late payment waiver, the answer is, sir, I am not authorized. Let me put in a request in my system and somebody will review and come back to you. If we can make that change, and if we can bridge, if we can walk that journey and reach that stage, I think that will exactly the answers to your question, right? Sir, we'll meet outside and we'll have a good chat. I think we should continue, Ashton.
Yes. So thanks for your inputs. If there are any further questions or any further comments, I'll just move ahead with the conversation. Thanks, Mahendra. Thanks to the two gentlemen in the audience. Now that we have heard about CX, we've taken the definition from the panelists, a few members on CX, and we've heard the impact of next-gen technologies. They've been positive from the audio, from the panelists here. Let's try to delve into some of the more popular technologies and try to understand how they've actually influenced and impacted the entire CX experience or customer experience. Okay, and why not start with the most popular of them and the ones that heard most in the news, artificial intelligence. Okay, so I will start with you, Rupam. I'll come to you first with the question. And my question to you is, how does artificial intelligence, or for that matter Gen AI, how is it revolutionizing customer engagement through personalized experience, that is hyper-personalization?
Yeah. So as I mentioned in my first statement only, you need to have your offerings and your journeys hyper personalized as per the customer to whom you are catering to. Now we all know we are living in the era of artificial intelligence. Obviously, GenAI has come. There is conversational AI also. So GenAI mainly what I have seen or what we have done in our organization from use case point of view, we have limited that to like use cases where we need to like make some audio, video, and also some marketing promotional stuff. So we haven't really have employed that in our journeys and all. Okay, conversational AI is a very important thing. So I tell you a very classic example, and then I'll come to its effects and significance. So we were a traditional brick and mortar organization who were largely having their funnel from sales driven by the front end channel partners. Then we slowly moved our emphasis to a largely D2C do-it-yourself journey kind of a model for certain percentage of our cases and certain products and all. Now when it came, so we had a need. So previously, as we know, for SME underwriting, PD is a very important, or physical discussion, personal discussion is a very important part. Without which you can't underwrite or you can't sanction a loan. So it was a physical mode of a PD to start off with. Then we devised a way how we can automate the same. So we resorted to video PD. It's similar on the lines of what you do in a video KYC and all. So we saw that we got some traction, we got some help and all in video PD. And so fundamentally there are some questions and all that the CM or the credit manager asks the customer, and you get the feed from the responses from the customer. Then while it happened, then we got some responses from or some requests from our credit managers that why can't we automate the data also, because we have to punch in the same data in our system what we are recording in the video PD platform. Okay, so obviously we thought, yeah, it is a callback API, we'll have the callback data and all, so we'll do that. Then the thing came that we don't want to write anything. Okay, whatever the customers interactions we are having, questions on, those should be auto imprinted on the front end and all, and that should flow back to the system. Okay, so their conversational AI like voice to your text comes into the picture. So if you see the whole picture here, it started from a single mode of visiting the customer, doing the PDs and all. Then we automated that where they can sit in the office and do the PDs, and then comes here where they don't need to write or note anything down. Everything that they are telling or talking in voice and all simply gets converted to the text, and those get fed back to the system via callback, and our whole PD mechanism and pre-sanction matrices are completed and the loan can be sanctioned. So this is like from a pre-sanction perspective. From a customer service perspective also, you can see like previously when it used to be for all the tickets and all single one-to-one calls by your customer service representatives, now you have your virtual assistants and all doing the majority of the mundane questions and all the queries and all are there. So if you see from an organizational point of view, while you are slowly on going into a verge of automation in each and everything, obviously you are taking into account, you are curtailing down your OPEX and all, you are not having too much of a huge bandwidth or resource length there to cater to all the services and all. And in short also, you are playing with the data in a way that those are getting automated and your processes slowly are getting into automated stream and evolving from time to time. So this is how I see, like from a customer experience point of view, while you are also giving a customer a superior experience. So this is from our end a classical journey of how the upcoming trends have have really bettered customer experience.
Yeah, thanks for this input and the use case. I'll pass the same question on to you, Alex. Gen AI, how does it help revolutionize hyper personalization? And I'll also add the conversational AI too. How does conversational AI provide more quicker, efficient, and personalized customer support?
Yeah. Gen AI, what Gen AI has done is it has made customer experience more intelligent. It has made customer experience more seamless, scalable, and like you said, hyper personalized, right? And the earlier panel, I think it was Mr. Himanshu Rastogi. He gave an example of Netflix, right? Netflix would give you recommendations of what to watch next. Same way, if I, again moving out from BFSI, because we have diverse audience here, you will listen to Spotify. There is a playlist always ready, which is a Spotify playlist for you, which says Discover, and it is just based on your the singer that you listen to, the genre that you listen to, right? So this is what GenAI has done to customer experience. It has made customer experience more intelligent, scalable. When I say scalable, the bots, the intelligence, the GenAI bots are today deployed with most of the organization. They go ahead and answer the first level queries that people might have, and more complex queries are then routed to agents or customer service people at the back end, right? So it has made the customer experience more scalable. Companies can manage large volumes, right? And hyper personalization, right? Again, giving an example of YouTube, you go ahead and play one song, right? And it would continuously play the songs of similar genres, similar artists, similar singers, right? And this is as per your mood, that it's as per your liking, right? So it is creating a hyper personalized experience. So overall, like I said, I will sum up. It has what GenAI has done to customer experience. It has made customer experience more intelligent. It has made customer experience more scalable as well as hyper personalized.
Sure, thanks both of you once again. So conversational AI has helped in quicker, efficient, more effective customer support. Gen AI has helped in hyper personalization. Again, pause if there are any views, comments, or I'll place the devil's advocate on this particular question myself. We talk about Gen AI, we talk about hyper personalization, and we also talk about the need for data for Gen AI. This data is usually personal data of customers. A lot of personal data in this days and age of data security and data privacy. Is hyper personalization at a cost of privacy? And does the customer have an option to put a switch on or off on hyper personalization?
I think there is a very fine line between hyper personalization and privacy breach, right? Yes, again, taking a reference from one of the previous panelists, you need to use data what is needed. Okay, you just can't go ahead and take any and everything that is available to you, right? Whatever is your product, whatever is your offering, whatever data is needed for that offering, I think those are the data set that one should go ahead and utilize, and not just take anything and everything. So yeah, there is a fine line between hyper personalization and breach of privacy, right? So I think companies should be mindful of that.
Sure, thanks Alex, well put. To very simply summarize, consent is important even with hyper personalization. The customer needs to be aware that his data is being used. We may have not reached there as a country, and India may have not reached there, but there needs to be an option for customer to choose whether he needs whatever you're sending him in terms of hyper personalization or not. That's important. With that, I'll go on to the next question on the panel, and I'll come to you, Rakesh, for it. And we are discussing the next technology in the space, which is the IoT devices. We see them everywhere. We see them used for everything. How are IoT devices creating continuous data-rich points that help to support better customer engagement?
A very valid question. We being into electricals, we have seen a shift into consumer behaviors as far as automation is concerned. Now everybody wants everything to be automated. We recently did a premium housing society where the complete house is switchless. There are no switches. Everything is voice control. So we are living in an era of the Google Homes or the Siris of the world. जब हम छोटे हुआ करते थे हमको बाजार भेजते थे, अब हम Alexa को बोलते हैं order this for us, order that for us. So yes, these IoT devices have started playing a major role in our day-to-day lives, whether it's a professional life or a personal life. Now, how these IoT devices helps us as a consumers or as the data users or for the organizations. So I'll speak from the organization perspective. For example, any consumer who is using an IoT device, it is very easy for us to get the real-time feedback. So if there is any issue with a particular product, we get the real-time update from the product itself that something is not working or something is going to conged off. So previously the services were reactive, means the product went bad. After that, consumer registered a service request and then we responded to that request. But today, even before a product gets defective, the IoT devices gives us a signal that what to do, what not to do. So this has helped us, gaining overall customer satisfaction. Now, personalized experiences we were speaking about, these IoT devices gives us a tons and tons of data that what exactly is the consumer behavior. सुबह वो कितनी बजे वाटर हीटर ऑन कर रहा है, सुबह कितनी बजे कंज्यूमर कॉफी मशीन ऑन कर रहा है, शाम को घर पे कितनी बजे आ रहा है जब वो एयर कॉन ऑन कर रहा है, रात को कितने घंटे फैन किस स्पीड पे चल रहा है. So there is a tons of data which is coming up and it is helping us, our product development team, to make sure that we design and devise the products and strategies which are helpful and convenient to consumers in their day-to-day life. Predictive maintenance, as I already mentioned, that we are able to gauge the increase the uptime of the product with the help of IoT devices. Now, one more important point which we have got is the enhanced journey mapping. That where exactly customer is moving, what he is doing. That journey mapping we are able to do better with the IoT devices in place, and it has obviously increased the efficiencies of the department, wherein previously there were manual things which were happening. Now the product automatically gives the data, auto recharge reminders go up, auto repair reminders go up, and in fact the vehicles nowadays coming up with all those technology tells you that you have to go for a service. बाकी क्या होता था, पहले हम तो चलाते रहते थे, कोई दूसरा चलाता था तो बोलता था गाड़ी सर्विस मांग रही है, सर्विस करा लो. So these technologies have helped us to gather the data which organizations can use for the betterment of the consumer and for the next level products which are coming up. I'll give you a very recent example then how dependent we are on these IoT devices. Recently, we have been giving our grocery list to the Alexa. Alexa, add this to grocery list, add this to grocery list. We have been adding all our grocery requirements to Alexa. One fine evening, me and my wife went for a walk. Normally, I avoid taking phone on a walk. We reached DMart and thought of let's buy some groceries. But the question which came up is the grocery list is with the Alexa, which is at home, and we are at DMart. So that much of dependency on these IoT or these metal devices have came up, and it is going to increase day on day. With remote lying next to us, still we are giving Alexa commands for TV to operate.
Sure. Very good examples, both from your personal life and from your industry. Mahendra, I'll pass on the same question to you. Do you think IoT plays such a major and multiple role within the BFSI space as well?
See, I'm not sure about BFSI, what role IoT will play in BFSI, because I think it will be more successful in B2B kind of space. I know, Amul is a very large deployment of IoT devices, right? That's at least what my knowledge tells me. And I think in our day-to-day life, I think a very basic example would be the car that we drive nowadays comes with a technology called TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system. I think these are certain real-life examples. But I think, given my forte, I would like to pick up the other question which Alex and others talk about. I think my submission would be on AI, Gen AI. I think 2000 was .com era. We are in a .ai era, right? My contrary view is, please don't get sucked into this, technology companies talking about AI, Gen AI. I think we are very far from general artificial intelligence becoming useful for real life examples. I think that's one. A lot of the adoption in AI is based out of FOMO. Please don't get sucked into that FOMO. There are multiple articles validating the fact that almost 30-40% use cases of AI do not result in positive ROI. So please be very careful in the investment that you're doing. Do a very, very small pilot. Don't rush into deploying large-scale deployments for AI, Gen AI, just because you have an appraisal coming up. I think long run it will not work out. Please be rest assured. I have seen it myself. I think what is really, really important that looking at the entire stack as a whole, right? We are talking about AI, Gen AI, from where that model is going to learn from the data that's there in your systems. Any organization which is 10-year plus, 20-year plus will have 4 different data warehouses, right? And that's where the problem lies. For the tech stack to work or the AI model to work, it's important that the seamless orchestration of data should happen, and the model should be able to really leverage the data that's there, which is not happening today, right? A lot of the large private sector banks in India, without taking names, are struggling to deploy a model which results into benefits which they expect, simply because the data is not orchestrated in a single system. 20-30-year-old brand, multiple systems, legacy system, non-legacy system, not able to talk to each other. Then you have consulting firms coming up with nice presentations saying, this is how we're going to do it. Never happens the way they envisage. So I think start small, do small scale pilot. A lot of time I heard this term LLMs. I think please start with SLM, which is a small language model. Deploy it on-prem or private cloud instead of going with high fancy names. I think that will lead, given the diverse crowd, if what I've heard, I think it will be a lot more important, beneficial for your career, you'll learn more, beneficial for your organization, small investment, much better ROI. And I think by the time that's successful, you scale up that pilot, and by the time the industry matures, the technology matures, and you have a lot of experience to understand what works, what doesn't work, so you can make more bigger bets and bigger investments. That would be my 2 cents.
Thanks for that, Mahendra. So well said and good advice. But since you've put a spoke on the entire AI piece, after saying
Heartbreak for the technology vendors outside.
Next gen technologies. Let's move to its cousin, okay, and machine learning. So let's move to, since AI is the no-go, let's move to machine learning. And Alex, I'll come to you with that. How do you think machine learning can be leveraged to analyze customer behavior and anticipate future needs of customer? So we said no to Gen AI now, so we're basically now looking at for an alternative.
Yeah. So I think machine learning is important in order to, but again, having said that, while it is important, it has to be adaptive. Machine learning is basically, in simple terms, it's machine who's learning based on the data set that you are providing, right? So, I will give you an example from a very own experience of ours. So we have developed certain machine learning algorithms which analyzes customers' income proof, right? Different income proofs that come from different banks, right? Again, we are in the lending industry. Again, customers might tamper those income proof. There are income proofs with incomplete information. Now, instead of having a person or a credit guy or an underwriter to just go through the income proof manually and approve, disapprove alone, we have deployed this algorithm wherein the machine learning, the system themselves, the algorithm would go ahead and analyze and auto approve and auto reject. I'm not saying that it is 100% foolproof. We do make mistakes, right? But 97% of our the income proofs that are approved by our algorithms are accurate, and the human might have also approved that the income proof, right? So machine learning, while it is good to have, but it has to be adaptive. It cannot be stringent. It has to develop. You have to feed more information, and that is when it would be very useful to you.
Sure, thanks for that, Alex. Again, anyone in the audience has a question, has a comment, has a doubt, or has a challenge? If not, then let's think and consider next new technology, AR, VR. We basically in that space, audio reality, virtual reality. So let's talk about it. Do you think that AR, VR is there to create immersive customer experience and engage in users in more innovative ways?
Yes, it is creating a lot of difference. I first saw this AR and VR sort of thing with Lenskart. The ad which came up, chashma ka badalta rehta hai, and the face, same face. I saw it way back, 3-4 years back. I think before COVID itself, they adopted. These were the ones, and now every industry has started doing that. This AR and VR enables consumer to have multiple trials, as many number of trials they want to have at their convenience, sitting on their couch in their bedroom. They want to try as many as products. They don't have to walk down to the stores to see how does it. So nowadays people ask multiple questions. This is the color of my curtain, whether the switches color will match with it or not. And it would not be ever possible for our Marcom guys or the field guys to get that switches delivered for a trial. So now this AR and VR is helping us to help consumers also, that how they can try these products, how they can make sure this is fitting to their requirements or not. Now the second best use of this AR and VR technology is coming up with the consumer education part. Now we are better able to tell our consumer that how to use this product. I'm not sure of how banking would be using this AR and VR, but with product companies like us, it is very easy for us now to explain a consumer how to use this product, or what you are exactly doing wrong, what could have been done better. As far as organization is concerned, we recently deployed a tool which we fondly call it a war room structure, wherein we have 3-4 experts sitting at our head office who are experts in those particular product lines, and now it has helped us to immediately respond to any customer need with the nearest available engineer. Even if that engineer is less trained on that product, the individual sitting at the head office and the guy with an AR VR glasses is able to resolve the consumer query at that site itself without organization having multiple peoples on the same technology.
Sure, thanks, Mike. So it's almost like being there without being there. Okay, thanks for that. I think we're almost out of time here, so we'll keep this last question, but we'll not end without speaking about cloud technologies. This will be the last question. I'll request the panel to keep it short, but my last question still goes out. How cloud technologies can help business centralize and analyze customer data for better engagement strategies? So I'll start with you, Mahendra, and maybe I'll ask Rupam to finish it.
I think the cloud is here to stay, and cloud is the future. I think any on-prem deployment cannot be scalable and fungible, and cloud, I think what cloud, the benefit gives you is the flexibility to the technology team of making sure that the deployment is much faster, it's scalable, and it's all OPEX model. So organizations which are smaller and doesn't have the budgets can deploy a lot of high-tech products which otherwise on an on-prem deployment would be out of their budget. So I think cloud definitely is the future and has a lot of advantages. There are risks involved, but let's look at the brighter side.
Sure, and Rupam, if you can finish.
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever I hear the word cloud, absolutely, so I remember just one word, this is GTM or go to market. So we are living in the age of APIs and all. So there are cloud offerings. Obviously your own tech stack has to be also a low code, no code model. Because otherwise whatever you want to do, building the customer journeys, building the products, the scorecards, the models, everything, if you don't have a good GTM, and if you deploy millions in getting that thing done, you are not running a scalable business model there. So obviously with all the APIs and all, and you are having all the system where you can easily plug in the APIs and all, and easily config driven system, then yes, cloud is playing a huge part. And obviously we can't imagine a world where it can't be like from a tech point of view, it can be divide of cloud and APIs from now.
Sure, thanks Rupam, and thanks to all my panelists. So we've had a very fruitful discussion. I will leave it open once more to any final audience questions. If there are any in the audience who would want to question the panelists on any of the subjects that we discussed, or maybe anything related to the subject on customer experience and next gen and digital technologies. If not, then I will say thank you for your time. Today we happened to discuss, we debated, we agreed on some things, and we then agreed to disagree. But in the end, we can only say customer experience is something that is customer enriching, customer enhancement, something that's much beyond customer service, right through the customer's life journey. Technology is an enabler, At the same time, we need to remember that one size doesn't fit all, and you need to have the right use case to get the best out of the technology you deploy. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Ashton, for this wonderfully moderated session. Thanks to you as well for your preparations.
Thank you guys, thank you. I think this was good. We had a disclaimer in the beginning and then we had a nice closure to the session. And again, various things being discussed. I found the most interesting was the VR as well. I mean, at least for girls, if they want to order lipsticks or foundation now from Nykaa or any other app, we can just look it on the phone and see how things go. So that has made life easier. Anyways, I think the topic is so interesting that we could go on and on. But considering time and considering our busy schedules, before we move ahead to the awards, I would request Prachiti to please come up on the stage. She is the co-founder and COO at Krypton. Let's give it up for Prachiti, guys. Come on. And it is now the time to felicitate our wonderful panelists and the moderator. So first up, let's felicitate Ashton D. Cruz, who's the Executive Director at NatWest Market. Let's give it up for Ashton, guys. Come on, I need the energy. We're almost at the end of the day. Then we have Rakesh Gupta, Head Customer Services and Customer Experiences, anchored by Panasonic. Let's give it up for Rakesh Gupta, guys. Come on. Woohoo. Then we have Mahendra Bindra, who's the Vice President Customer Experience, Unity Small Finance Bank, where he rightly mentioned that different solutions for different age groups. Perhaps our grandparents want to go to the branch and speak, and the Gen Zs just want everything on the go. Thank you so much for your insightful words, sir. Then we have Rupam Mazumdar, Head Innovation and Products, ECL Finance. Let's give it up for Rupam, guys. Come on. Last but not the least, we have Alex Kokavi, Business Lead, BNPL and Credit Cards 5 India, who presented such fresh perspectives. Let's give it up for Alex, ladies and gentlemen. Need the energy rolling. Come on. Woo-hoo.